Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. We're wearing pants. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Appa, my co-host / co-founder Vincent, we dive into the streaming service. We tell you, the listener, and of course the viewer, what is worth and what is not. And Vincent, we're feeling all the love and thunder that's going around. And for that reason alone, we are doing 2017's very own Thor Ragnarok. If it's an adult film, you take out the R, you put in a C. And that's all I'm saying. But Vincent,
what?
Let's get into this.
Oh.
Let's get into this. All right? I just want to.
I was going like Thor Ragnarok. What?
So I just want to quickly, we haven't done this in a while, but I want to do some Google questions right quick.
You want to do some Google
that's
questions?
Right with you, Vincent.
Are you going to do it? Are you going to show? Are you going to do it?
Would you like to do it? Because this is the podcast where we.
Okay. Well,
Not just the podcast where me.
I'll do it. All right. Google questions.
There's some Google questions.
I'm using DuckDuckGo for privacy things,
Yeah, see, I had to delete TikTok for privacy things, but that's just like privacy settings and
that's
whatnot.
just privacy data things. All right. Is Ragnarok Thor's sister?
Oh. See, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that.
Oh, I didn't read the first one because the first one is why is Thor Ragnarok so good?
Yeah, bro, you got to read that one, man.
In the dark world, there were a lot of dark colors. Bro, in the dark world, there are a lot of dark colors because it was the dark world. But in Ragnarok, there were far more bright and vibrant colors. Bro, this is an actual article someone's written.
This is cheatsheet.com. Like, if you want the cheat sheet, this is where you go. Don't worry about cheat meals. This is the cheat sheet. This is what you want. Vincent, this is if we had access to writing articles online, which we do. Like, we have a service in which we could write blogs every week, but we choose not to. We could be writing things of this quality. This changed the vibe of the Thor movies from being dark and serious to lighter and funner. And fans absolutely loved it.
Hold on. I didn't say funner.
They did,
oh my goodness, they did. Oh my goodness, they did. Lighter and funner.
Let's. I'm clicking on cheatsheet.com because this might be like a little kid's thing. This was done in 2020, so like man's was in the heat of the pandemic. You didn't know what
about us. Bro, they got 140 plus million visitors. I don't know if that's in like their whole time, but let me tell you, these heads, like they got their team. If you go to meet our team, they are possibly the scariest looking, I don't even know what to call them, caricatures of these people.
How do we do meet our team?
Go
I got to see meet our team.
About us, right at the bottom of the website.
About us. Is it in menu?
No, just go to the bottom.
About us. I found about us.
You found it.
All right. Oh my God.
Is that not scary? Is that not terrifying?
That's scary to me. Like
that
someone painted these, and in respect to the person that painted these, I want to find what the bloke. I reckon it was this Jeff Nelson. Nelson, about the only normal looking person on this.
100%. This was like an AI generated thing. This was like the that DALL-E image thing. You type in like, hey, I want a picture of me. Like, hey, I got a yellow shirt on. I got triangular or diamond earrings. I got long hair.
I want Bear Grylls eating ass. Like, I want that.
And they whipped out Lauren Anderson's thing. This person. This is a terrible article.
I mean, they're getting millions of hits. Look, if there was a surface of 1 million, we barely scratched the surface.
I know. I can't find the person who wrote the article
podcast.
On their
but
Meet
that's
Our
the podcast
Team
where
page.
we and this is the showbiz where they. That's the cheat sheet where they.
So I was just saying.
I can't help what they're doing, and they can't help what I'm doing.
I can't see the dude that or the individual
is Ragnarok
wrote
Thor's
the
sister?
Thor Ragnarok article in the Meet Our Team. So I don't know if that individual has been subsequently let go.
You cut out and then you just said something about meet our team. So I'm sorry, I missed that bit.
That's fine. It wasn't for you. It was for the fans.
Okay. Well, look, fans, like if they can get to millions of people viewing their site, Like, throw us a couple bones here, man. Like, you add up all our content, it ain't even close to 1 million. Yumbo's not even hit 2K yet.
I ain't even hit 2K. All right.
How long have we been doing videos for? And Yumbo still hasn't hit
almost
2K.
2 years. Oh, bro, I haven't been recording the video, my video. So we've had technical difficulties.
That's okay.
I mean, that's all right. That's all right.
That's on brand.
That's on
We're
brand.
here. We're on brand.
Especially for me, I seem to do that fairly often.
I'll give you the rundown.
All right, who is Thor's right?
So this has not.
Sif.
That's incorrect. Where are you seeing this?
I'm looking at questions. He's Ragnarok,
What a
the
question.
best Marvel movie. It's widely considered one of the best MCU projects overall. Who is... Oh, no, this is a good one. Who is Thor's son? Not Thor's son. Who is Thor's son? So I don't know if there's a man called Thor's son.
Well, Thor is technically, like, his last name is Odin's son, you know? Like, he's straight up the son of Odin, so they call him Odin's son.
Maybe he's actually Thor's son.
I'm gonna give you the stats, Vincent, because I don't really know about Thor's son. Because also I forgot we got 40 minutes on this thing. Okay, so it's got 93% on the Rotten Tomatoes. It's got 7.9 out of 10 on the IMDb. It had a budget of 180 million, and it made 854 million, Vincent. Now, let me give you the synopsis. We'll get into this. Deprived of his mighty hammer, Mjolnir, Thor must escape the other side of the universe to save his home, Asgard, from Hela, the goddess of death. Now, that's just straight to the point. They tell you exactly what's going on. I appreciate that.
That's right.
But Vincent, I'm going to ask you a couple of these questions straight up. I want to know your answer.
Okay.
Is Thor Ragnarok, put a C in it, change the name, is it the best MCU movie?
No.
I agree, it's not. But is it a good MCU movie, Vincent? I want to know from right now, is it something that you enjoyed?
Well, it's funner than the last one, because the last one just had dark colours, you know? Shout out JL.
But see, I appreciated the dark colours. I mean,
we did the Dark World a few weeks, months, days, years ago. We did it at some point, and I mean, I enjoyed that movie.
I'm not going to be the one to say this, but I'll say it. Go on.
I said I had my man's, I don't know, some sort of Norwegian dude run around butt naked near Stonehenge. I mean, what else do you want? You know, Thor Ragnarok, change it to the sea.
I don't want to be the one to say this, Vincent, but if you told me, you know, you got Thor Ragnarok, you got Thor the Dark World, you know, take the R out, turn it into a C, which one would you watch first? I would say, like, I would go to either equally. Like, I have no, I see no differences in these movies in regards to their quality because I like both of them. I'm a big fan of Thor the Dark World for the neck snap alone. But Vincent, I quite enjoyed this movie upon rewatch.
This was so I rewatched this just out of I was home on a Saturday night as I regularly am, and I had some time. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just watch Thor Ragnarok because that's a fun movie. And I'll tell you this much: I watched that whole movie, and there was not one part that I was like, nah, that's dumb, or nah, that's not funny, or nah, that's stupid.
Yeah,
the whole movie was just consistent, good quality film.
And you know what I appreciated about this movie, and something that threw me off initially when I first got into this film, because we watched this together at the theatres.
Yeah.
We went to the theatres, we said, let's watch this together. And I think I remember that night specifically because when I got home, I got some Uber Eats. And in the Uber Eats meal that I got some edamame beans. And like, mans didn't realise, you had to take out the beans from the edamames. So I was just eating the whole bean, the stalk as well. You know what I mean?
Dude, but that
like,
stalk
I was
got
Jack
nutrients.
and the beanstalk.
I
mean, it's got fibre. It's got fibre. But I remember when I first got into this movie and Thor is in that cage. And Thor's doing, you know, Chris Hemsworth is doing comedy things. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is so... It just feels so different from what the last Thor movies have been. You know, he's been quite a straight character, quite a serious character within his world.
They were dark colours.
I mean, they were dark colors, man, and like they were a lot less funner. But after I went over that hump, I was just like, this is a fantastic development for the character of Thor.
Yeah.
Because like Mans has been in that many fights, he's got some form of CTE. So for his personality to change so rapidly, like that makes sense to me.
And stop speaking in like Victorian English.
Yeah, it makes sense that he would just stop what he was doing in the last two movies and continue with this.
But in saying that, when Hela crushed his hammer, you can't tell me it wouldn't have been better if he was like, "Thou hast destroyed Mjolnir." Like if he whipped that out, the cinema wouldn't be able to contain themselves.
I mean, if this is what would happen if that happened, right? So like Hela smashes the thing, and then the thing goes silent, and he says, "Thou hast smashed Mjolnir." Have you seen that video where the man's like, potato on the Zoom meeting?
Nah.
And no man's in the Zoom meeting laughs, and his face gradually changes from a laugh to a just a real serious and like I've done something, I've got to sit in it. That's what would happen. Thou hast smashed Mjolnir.
Honestly, I would love that, I reckon.
That would be the only time in the cinemas in which you would get up and you'd be like, "Get around this, boys. This is cinema."
Scorsese wept at this scene.
Dude, if that happened, Scorsese would have intended it to happen that way. That's all I got to say.
Scorsese would have intended it. Yeah, but for real.
Hey, Vincent, can I just tell you something just quick before you get into more Thor things? Like, we just do this for us, you know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because no one listens to this. And that's okay. Because my partner continuously tells me that we are not funny, except to ourselves, so to each other. So,
but that's positive, like, mental health things.
That's right.
Like, we can identify and validate ourselves as being funny, but we can also identify that to others we are not funny.
Yeah, and that's fine by me. Because I don't have to make everyone laugh.
Nah, man. It's got to make the people that can't laugh.
That's right.
I.e. not our partners.
Yeah, instead of making them laugh, we actively frustrate them. So the thing that I wanted to say, seriously, when Hela crushed that hammer, that was unreal.
I mean, Hela almost steals the show in this movie.
Hela is one of the coolest villains. Is that Kate Blanchett?
Mm-hmm. That's Kate Blanchett.
That's Kate Blanchett.
Some people might call it Blanchett, though.
Well, I mean, you either blanch or you blanch the almonds. It doesn't really matter. But
right.
She is a top tier character, and I love when she like slicks her hair back and she got horns.
That's real cool.
Because logically, that should happen. You slick your hair back and the horns should like go down. You should slick back the horns. And
I think this has come off of a period in which Marvel villains were not that good. Even in Thor: The Dark World, really the villain of the piece, the pale elf or whatever that man's name was, Malekith, he wasn't really that strong of a villain. If it wasn't for Loki being in that film would not have been that as exciting. We were focused very much on the heroes, but I think that I can't think of any ones prior to that, but I think that Hela was a real big turning point in regards to good villains in the MCU.
Oh, for sure. I think this
Not
movie...
that there's been many after that.
No, that's right. I do think this movie it's got a lot of... Because looking back on it, before I watched this, I just remembered they're on Sakaar, they're doing Sakaar things, so he's a friend from work, and that's it. And that's what I can't remember. But this movie has a lot of different kind of, I'll say, obviously scenes, but almost a lot of different plot points. There's scenes. Like Taika Waititi, he does cuts. This is not Birdman.
No, that's right.
But
that's right. There's no
you've got the first
here.
thing where Mans is doing Thor things. He's trying to destroy that. What's he's got? I've got it here. Surtur.
Yep, Surtur.
That sounds like
to
a
get
spice.
To get the helmet.
To get the helmet, and then Odin dies. Thor's just there.
He gone.
He doesn't have Mjolnir. He's just got an umbrella because he's in
Well, before
Norway things. Oh yeah,
but even before Norway things, you got Dr. Steins there, and he's wearing gloves.
you got Doctor.
He's like, "Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. I'm wearing gloves," is what he says.
Bro, you got Matt Damon and the dude
One of
from
the other
Jurassic
Hemsworth
Park,
brothers.
and one of the Hemsworths.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. He's Odin, isn't he? In the acting.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. But then you've got,
I mean,
then
there's heads.
Then they're in Sakaar, and the whole Sakaar situation's great. And then back on Asgard. Like, there's a lot of top tier points. Idris Elba, he's got dreadlocks.
Bro, Idris Elba.
I don't know if he can see or he can see everything. Like, he looks like he can't see, but he can actually see everything. And he's just doing his thing, which is top tier. Does he die at the end of this movie? No, he doesn't.
He dies in
Infinity War.
Infinity War at the start of Infinity War.
Yeah, but I mean
like,
there's so many different characters that they've got in here, and new ones like what's her name, the Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
Is her name just Valkyrie?
I think they just call her Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, whatever.
Let me have a look, but I think they just call her Valkyrie.
Yeah,
she's Valkyrie.
She's Scrapper 142.
You got Carl Urban, Butcher's very own.
Yeah, that dude was funny.
As the executioner. You put
funny.
Carl Urban in a movie, I'll say he's Australian.
Yeah.
If you put him in a movie, I'll say he's Australian.
Hela comes out, she kills the Guardians 3 or whatever they call themselves, and Carl Urban's just there like, yeah, sure, I'll bow to you. Like, what do you want me to do? I'll do it.
If you see a lady who's slicking her hair back, she's getting horns, what are you doing?
You're getting on one knee, and you're not proposing.
Yeah. No.
You're not proposing marriage, at least. You're proposing that you're joining her team. Because you slick back your hair and you get horns. Well,
there's nothing safe for you there as a human being.
That's
to deal
right.
with. But that's just Asgardian things. That's lost daughter things. That's estranged families. And that's what that is.
That's a strange family. I did like, it gives a bit of more depth to Thor as a character, and obviously the family and whatnot. There's just so much in this movie that you can really appreciate, because there's so many good comedic moments that are actually funny, and not funny just to be funny. Like, how this is probably gonna, I'm gonna re-listen to this in 15 years when I've got grey hair, and I'm gonna think, man, what the hell was I saying? But that's probably most of this podcast, podcast where we. But you can tell. I feel like you can tell when the director or the scriptwriter or whoever's calling the shots writes something specifically to be funny, or when they write something that is just a scenario that the characters would be in that is amusing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I think the character in Korg was brought in for comedic elements, but I think that they wrote that character so well, and also just put him in there. They didn't have him in there for the whole movie. If you get a whole movie of Korg, you got to switch that off. Yeah. But they had him in there enough that it was just like, this guy's not trying to be funny. This is just him as an individual, and it is hilarious. My man's forgot to print the papers.
I think Korg was my favourite character in this movie.
I think that could be a very good statement. I reckon that there's a lot of people who would be dealing with that sort of scenario in their minds too.
There was
that
just
Korg
something
is their
about
favourite
Korg.
character.
He's got his man Meek or whatever the thing's name is. It's just like a bug.
Yeah.
He thinks he's dead, but he's not dead.
I will say one thing though. Coming back, I'm doing a quick U-turn here, and then we're gonna get right back on track. But you mentioned that you liked how Hela brought and I know that you probably mentioned something 15 seconds ago. You regret it now, but you mentioned that Hela, you liked the fact that it brought another element to the family life of Thor. For me, that's neither here nor there.
I'm also meant the history of Asgard and Odin and Hela just like plowing down folk, like they pillaging and villaging.
Oh, they're doing Age of Empire things. Is what they're doing.
They're absolutely doing it. They're putting in like Big Daddy, E equals MC2, Trooper. They've got all the cheat codes.
The Yololo guys, they're just spamming them. But what I think is what I'm going to rebut your statement, which I appreciate. You know, I appreciate you, bro. But I'm going to rebut your statement by stating that I think that would have made more sense if Odin was still around to sort of be like, look, this is my past. If Odin was still a character in this and was able to say, look, this was my past, this was my mistake, I will work to make up for it. I think that makes it more interesting.
I agree with you.
That's not to say that Hela isn't an exciting character. I think that she's the best character of this film. I said it right now. I said it. But I think that bringing her in is sort of just like, this is an idea of a cool character who's ferocious, who's scary. So let's just bring her in for this movie and then we'll never see her again. Although I hope we do.
I 100% agree with you there. If Odin was there and was like, nah, man, I messed up. But he kind of just was, oh, well, hey, sorry, I'm going to die. Hela's going to come back. It's on you now.
My man's just like, oh, I've left you so much debt, but you got to deal with it because I'm dead. Like, that's what he did.
Classic boomers, am I right?
Oh, boomers, bro. Like, Mans did not only leave them with Hela, but he also left them with a significant global footprint.
And also sky-high house prices. Like, how are we supposed to get into this market?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, the podcast where we will never get us
that's just
into
global
the market.
economy things. That's just inflation things, and that's just a bit of boomer
That's
humor
Greta
on the
Thunberg
side.
things.
That's Greta Thunberg. I ain't heard of her for a while. Hopefully she's doing well.
Because she's doing, I'm sure she's doing things though.
I'm sure
Greta?
I'm sure she's there. You know,
Probably
planting
high
trees
school
somewhere. Oh, yeah, probably. That's actually
like, man should be doing high school. Vincent, I really enjoyed. Here's the thing. I'm a big Hulk fan.
Yeah.
I'm a man who enjoys Hulk. And one of the things that I have found to be a bit sad about the MCU, but I understand it, is that the Hulk was not given another chance at a solo movie. And I would have loved to have seen as a solo movie Hulk actually getting onto Sakaar first and becoming the champion. I know that that's obviously a very exciting reveal if you haven't seen the trailers, but how cool would it be a movie where Hulk makes his way to Sakaar and the whole thing is like Gladiator, where he's just going through, just beating up folks, just taking on hordes of...
I feel like that's almost like a 15-minute movie, though.
It might be a YouTube short sort of thing.
Like, Mans is there. He rocks up with Sakaar. He's like, what's going on? My pants are ripped. And then he just starts smacking folk. Jeff Goldblum's like, I need him in the arena. And that's it. And it's just him beating up different aliens for 20 minutes.
And I mean, he's jacked in this one. Compared to the other ones, like, Mans is jacked. And like, that's dysmorphia things, but Mans is jacked.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it.
Who the hell is... Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Sakaar, because Jeff Goldblum, hilarious because like he's killing folk, but he's like, oh man, like look at all this mess now.
Mans has been in the same shape since he was like in The Fly, the movie The Fly, starring Jeff Goldblum. Like I mean, I don't know if he's fluctuated in his shape from then, but Mans has been the same shape and body frame for that long.
Yeah.
How are you going to go out of your 30s? Oh, I mean, he's hilarious. He is hilarious. He's hilarious because he's just doing Jeff Goldblum things. And I love when there's people who can do that. You know, like Key and Peele's. They're just doing Key and Peele's things. And I love when there's people and actors that have created their own character, which they can just, I'm just going to ride on the coattails of this character for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely. I think if it brings you joy.
Because some actors and actresses want diversity, but some people just want to like do what they want to do.
That's exactly right. And I think there's nothing better than that, you know. That's something. That's something.
That's something. We're not sure what it is, but it's something. Hey, it's something. It's something.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word, but there was going to be some sort of mental health term that I was going to use. Vincent, I think this is what I worry about because I may or may not have seen particular. Well, we have seen things, and this is what I worry about. I worry that Thor as a character has almost become the butt of the joke.
Well, yeah, especially now that he's fat, like he's post.
Yeah, I think he's back to.
War.
I think he's
would
back
assume
to
too.
like
I
normal
think so.
shape in the new one. But I mean, we've talked about the complexities of that character and how the way they approached it was not like appropriate either.
No.
But what I mean is that. Yeah, this movie was hilarious, but Thor wasn't necessarily the butt of the joke.
Well, he was the hero.
I know, yeah, he was the hero, but he wasn't an idiot.
That's true. Yeah.
Like he did silly things that were in line with a man who's been a god for his entire life, living on a planet in which they got Rainbow Road.
Like, dude, you get Rainbow Road, you have heads falling off.
Oh, dude.
Like, even without
on,
loop-the-loops and like boosts and mushrooms and like Cooper shells, you'll get people falling off. You know, because Idris Elba will be like, yeah, no, just head straight there. All right, take a left at the end, like after the Rainbow Road, and that's when you get to like the palace. And heads will just be like slowly veering off, and that's it. You know.
Just from the start, like, is this where Idris said? Yeah, this is where Idris said. And then, oh my God.
Like, they got that bowling ball trajectory. Like, you throw it straight down the middle, but it's not going straight down the middle.
Oh, gosh, man. I got low power modes on here. That's all right. We'll keep going. We'll keep going.
Right. We'll keep going. What else? I mean, Hela at the end, I mean, she got Fenrir. I think that's what she called the dog.
Is that the dog?
The dog. That's cool. I mean, there's a giant dog.
Yeah. I liked that man with the bowl with spikes on it. I wish I could have seen more of him.
The what?
He got killed by Hela at the start. He had the bowl with spikes on it.
Oh yeah, he
was one of the people trying to protect Asgard.
Yeah, he was like, "Nah, I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna smack you with this bowl with spikes on it." But nah,
well, that was his quote. He said, "I don't know who the hell you are." He got clapped, man. He got clapped quick.
He got clapped,
and he was sitting there with swords through him, and he was going like, like that. Like, that's when you know you've been clapped, when you just can't make movements, you can just make sounds. I think that you're right, Vincent. This, not only did this have a lot of plot points and a lot of different spaces, but it just came together so well and so coherently that you could watch parts of this movie and stop it and still really enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I'm a big fan of, creating a realistic environment. And I think that especially for Sakaar, they weren't in Sakaar for that long, but you could tell that, like, you felt the vibe of the city.
Yeah.
Through the Colosseum, the Arena of Champions, and also when Bruce Banner's out there with Thor in really tight pants looking for the ship to get out or whatever they're doing. And I mean,
man says I'm wearing pants.
Man says I'm wearing pants and they're too tight.
Yeah. I'm hearing voices of... That's all right. So, Vincent, tell me, if you could take something from this movie and transfer it to the remainder of the MCU, would it be the humor? Would it be the Taika Waititi brand of humor?
I think Taika Waititi is a fantastic director, and he did a really good job with Thor Ragnarok. But I think, is he directing Love and Thunder? Or has he directed it? I guess he's done it. He's done it now.
It's been done.
Like, it's out. Been done. I gotta make that change. Nah, bro, it's done. Look at that. It's in the cinemas. I think. Well, I guess I have to see what Love and Thunder is like, because I like that the MCU is turning into a bit of different people's flavors. We recently did Doctor Strange, and Sam Raimi did that, and he absolutely shot that out the park.
Yes.
And it was
agree.
different to a lot of things. You know, I like the diversity, and I think you need a lot. You have people like Taika Waititi. They can do their thing, but I don't think you need to take that and, you know, transplant it to another movie or another thing. You know, because it's good as is. You know,
and I think what is of benefit of having maybe one and done directors within this space is that, as you said, you get to get those different flavors, and you get to see characters like what we talked about in the Doctor Strange one. We talked about the fact that we really enjoyed, well, I particularly really enjoyed when comic books are written by different writers, and also the art style is done by different people as well within the same volume. Within the same story, but the volumes are different in the way that they present them, because you're feeling like things are adapting and things are changing, but you're also allowed to be like, oh yeah, I like this element. Actually, man, you know what? Actually, I like this element too. You're not just stuck doing the same things.
Yeah, I think,
and that's where I think. I was just going to say very quickly. That's where I think Joss Whedon. I mean, other than being a sex pest, I think that's where they went wrong when they tried to just get him to do everything after Avengers 1.
Yeah. I think like the Russo brothers have done 3 movies now.
Yeah, so they did Civil War
and Infinity War and Endgame.
Infinity War, Endgame, yeah.
I mean, Civil War is fantastic, and because there was enough time between that and Infinity War, I think that was okay. But also, they kind of had to do Endgame because they had whatever they set up. They had to kind of
That's right.
get all the resolutions, and I think they knocked that out of the park. But
I mean, Infinity War might be one of the best movies out there.
Infinity War is definitely in my top 5.
Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive, absolutely. But I mean,
should we give this a rating? I'm just cautious of times here.
This is an 8 for me.
We're 35 minutes in.
This is an 8.
Yeah.
There's not a lot that I didn't enjoy about this movie.
It's not getting close to a 10. Yeah.
No, but this is not a 10 movie.
It's not.
It never was going to be. This is a movie. I'll tell you what. This is a movie where you're like, what do I want to watch? I just want something that's not going to be too heavy. Something almost comforting.
Yeah.
You put Thor Ragnarok.
You want something light and easy. Something light and easy.
That's right.
Yeah. That's. Hey, look, that is what it is, and that's why we appreciate movies like this. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think that it was that it's serviceable, that it's enjoyable, that it's a good one to come back to exactly when you're wanting something just to chill out to.
Yeah.
But when we're talking 10s, we're talking Doctor Stones. You know, we're talking Doctor Stones. We're talking the Batman.
We're talking like what Scorsese intended.
It has to be what Scorsese intended, and Scorsese didn't intend this.
No, that's right. I was just thinking about when Thor and Loki together in this movie was pretty funny, especially when they were like, "Oh, let's do Get Help."
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
We didn't even talk about Loki, and I think that Loki's presentation in this is a really good jump, a change in his character, which allows us to have the TV show Loki.
But it's also,
I know that they're different characters at that point.
It's also like just a sprinkle. It's just a bit of seasoning on this movie. There wasn't too much Loki. Yeah. There was enough, and it just got his flavor. You know, you got that Loki taste in your mouth, and it was low key.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people out there that want Loki's taste in their mouth, but that is not to be happening in this state of the world, man. Unless you know the man's, unless you know where man's has been, because he might have been in crowded spaces, you know, and we got peaks happening this weekend. The peaks happening this weekend, you know.
And remember, this is Thor Ragnarok with 2 R's, not an R and a C.
That's true. So, Vincent, I think we can tell them where they can find us, and the fact that they won't be able to find us here will be sort of detrimental to your services. But let's just do it anyway.
I mean, you can't find us.
Well, they won't find us here on the YouTube. We're the only people that watch the YouTube.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, if you've made it this far, you know where to find us. Talk soon.
Yes. Talk soon.